Oh, sorry. Unfortunately, I was on mute. So let me start again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So, guys, sorry for that. And I'll start again. My name is Naveed, and I'm the pre-sales consultant for Redington in Enterprise Security Division. And I've been working on Palo Alto since 2 years now. And today's topic is Prisma Access, Secure Access Service Edge, also known as SASE technology. So, what is SASE technology and how it works and what benefits it has for the customers and during the current situation? We'll be seeing this in this session. So, as you can see, more and more customers, more and more companies nowadays are going to cloud. So, cloud adoption is, is a current trend. Previously, it was 4 to 5%. Now it has become 94%. So, most of the companies and many applications are moving from data centers to the cloud. Similarly, apart from the current situation, the COVID-19, sorry, and it has caused a lot of movement from the remote offices and on-prem workforces to mobile workforces. But apart from that, has just increased it. But still, there was increase in mobile workforce since last couple of years. But it has increased it to more than 35%, and it is estimated that by 2023 it will be 43%. So, and moreover, due to current scenarios, we are also seeing that around 60% of enterprises will adapt to SD-WAN. Currently, which is being done by MPLS, the WAN connectivity, high speed and performance, which is provided by MPLS. It is estimated that it will be changed. And 60% of the enterprises will implement SD-WAN. So, due to this approach, or due to this change in trend, cloud access security solutions are being adopted. But the only challenge is that they are complex. Yeah. So you can see, there are the connectivity is between the branch offices, headquarters, mobile users, and the different resources that they access, like on-prem data centers, public cloud, internet, and internet resources, websites, applications, etc., and SaaS applications. So all of them are connected through multiple point solutions. So and backbone networks. So MPLS, web proxies, CASB proxies, site-to-site VPNs, and remote access VPN. So all of them are different point solutions and different technologies, and will have different features and performances. So due to this, there is no single level of security or single level of access or single level of control. If you see here. So, and managing all of them will be a tedious task. Troubleshooting them will be a tedious task in case of any failure. Yeah. So bringing them up is again a time-consuming task. So the network setup itself is complex, and even the admin and the management experience would be different. It would not be great, and same will have effect on the users as well. So due to combination of multiple technologies, and these are I would say next generation technologies, but still they they have the silos based approach, which causes discontinuity between each of them. Then that's what causes security gaps. So, there is no like I said, there is no single point of management, of configuration, of troubleshooting, and and maintenance. So this causes a lot of discontinuity. So these are the main challenges: complex, poor user experience, even admin tediousness, and security gaps. So introduction to SASE. So if you can see, SASE is Secure Access Service Edge. It stands for Secure Access and Service Edge. So Prisma Access is the product name, but SASE or Secure Access Service Edge is the technology behind it. So SASE is an is an emerging cybersecurity concept that I would say Gartner described in the August 2019 report. And the future of in the Gartner report was called the future of network security in the cloud. So with the increase in the remote users and software as a service, mainly the existing network approaches and technologies simply no longer provide the levels of security and access control that digital organizations need. So that is why the need for the new approach of for the network security has risen. So SASE is, like you can see, it has two components which have been converged. So security as a service. So I will call it SaaS, but here it is security as a service, and even NAS, network as a service. It has been converged, into secure access service edge. So SASE is the convergence of basically wide area networking or WAN and network security services, like you can see, on the top. So on the below, you can see that is mainly wide area network technologies or features, and on the top, on the bottom, it is networking technologies. On the top, you can see these are security technologies, and both of them are provided as service. So CASB, Cloud Access Service Broker, or I'm not sure about the full form, but it's more of a broker service, and SSL decryption, cloud security web gateway, zero trust network access, firewall as a service, DNS, DLP, sandboxing. All of these features are provided as a service by the SASE technology. And again, networking technologies are provided as a service like SD-WAN, QoS, policy-based routing, network as a service. So network as a service, as in you get the whole corporate connectivity on cloud. Then IPsec, VPN, SSL, VPN, all of them. Yeah. So that's why it's a converged technology which converges WAN and and security, or network and security as a service. So in detail, this is how the high level overview of the technology, of the solution is. So Prisma Access has two layers: security as a service and network as a service. And that's the two layers on the cloud. And the on the top, you can see that it can provide high speed and good optimum connectivity to SaaS technologies, SaaS applications, public cloud, internet resources, headquarters and data center, networks, branch offices, mobile users. So it can help organizations in several ways. So mainly the features that you can vouch for is flexibility, cost saving, reduced complexity, increased performance, zero trust, yeah, and threat prevention and data protection. So flexibility, because let me see here. So this would be better to understand the architecture and the features as well. So you can see that flexibility, because multiple service edge offerings or service offerings to implement, from threat prevention, web filtering, sandboxing, DNS security, everything it is providing as a service bundle. And you when you opt for the bundle, you get these features, which are traditional security features. I mean, not traditional, just same as next generation firewall features. So on the prem, but they are also provided on the cloud, and much more than that. They are provided as a service, so you don't have to worry about the services going down, or they'll not be your area of management. So you just configure it, and then they will be managed by Palo Alto. So cost saving, because it's a cloud technology, so you don't have to have any resources. Yeah, and so instead of buying multiple and managing public point products, utilizing a single platform will be reducing the cost and IT resources dramatically. Reduced complexity. Yeah, so in simple words, like IT infrastructure, that you have to set up on the on your headquarters and on your branch offices will be reduced a lot. So You don't have to worry about the management, the updating, and and even the rack space in your in your physical device. Similarly, increased performance is it's a cloud technology and it is present across the globe. So, and it has got edge locations which provide you with increase with point locations, or I would say edge locations, which provide you with easy connectivity and fast connectivity for each and every region. Apart from the internal connectivity, which is again through high speed backbone network. We'll talk about it. And a zero trust network means it will consider every traffic that is coming to the Prisma Access cloud as untrusted. So you'll get you will see you will have to set up the policies, or you know you because of the next generation firewall technology applied or implemented on the cloud. It follows the same approach, wherein you don't trust anything. So any traffic coming from outside to inside will be blocked, and you will have to configure specific policies to allow specific user, specific device, specific location, even at specific time. So you will get granular control over your access, and based upon the context. Similarly, all the threat prevention features and data protection features are available. Threat prevention license, which is on the Palo Alto next generation firewall, like antivirus, anti-spyware, application control, URL filtering, DLP, all will be there on the cloud itself. So as you can see, so all these features are are basically comprised in these two layers. So security layer, which is called single pass uh, parallel processing, actually security processing it's called here. So single pass security processing is basically the inspection of traffic on each and every packet, and checked across. So every packet will be checked for malicious payload, and through the antivirus, anti-spyware application control module, and it will provide you with the same level of protection that the Palo Alto next generation firewall provides. Okay. Similarly, at the networking layer, it is the connection layer, where you provide you configure the interfaces, you configure the subnets, and everything that you do on the next generation firewall, and connect remote locations, but as and headquarters and mobile users, but as it is not your corporate LAN. So you'll have to use technologies like IPsec tunnel or SSL tunnel, SSL VPN tunnel, and clientless VPN tunnel. But on the resource access side, so this is where this is how the users will access the Prisma cloud, and then to access the resources, Prisma Access Cloud will connect to it will have connections to SaaS resources, SaaS technologies, and then public cloud, internet, and routed through proper WAN and IP addresses, public IP addresses, and even headquarters would be connected through IPsec tunnel, or Global Protect VPN. So, but as it's a cloud infrastructure, the SLA will be will be better, I would say. So if you want to make sure that you can expect 99% network service uptime. So in terms of security processing, in terms of network connectivity, in terms of even application access or resource access. So this is in general the connectivity between Prisma Access and the remote users, remote networks, mobile users, and uh, the other locations where there are resources. So like data centers, remote data centers. So it's like you can imagine remote networks as your corporate network, and data center as your service connections and mobile users. So Prisma Access is it's nothing but a next generation firewall, okay, and panorama So I don't know if you guys are aware of Palo Alto Network. So these are Palo Alto Network technologies. Uh, Palo Alto firewall, next generation firewall is it comes in as a hardware, as a VM, um, on cloud as well. So the same Palo Alto firewall, next generation firewall, is set up on cloud and managed by Palo Alto, and that provides Prisma that so uh, multiple interconnected next generation firewalls. They provide the the point locations or edge gateways of Prisma Access. They become the edge gateways of Prisma Access, and then they are managed again by Panorama, which is Palo Alto Network Central Management Solution. And then all of the logging is not done on here, not neither on Palo Alto firewalls or Panorama. It is done in something called as Cortex Data Lake. So if you have been following Palo Alto portfolio, product portfolio, and the recent advancements, you will see that Cortex Data Lake has been recently it has been developed last year, but it has been and it is being adopted now since quite a few months now in 2020 and 2019. So it's a data lake, like the name says. It has got all the it stores all the events, all the logs collected from all the Palo Alto network devices from all the customers across the globe with definitely their consent, and that data is being used to analyze the threats and develop preventions across from those threats, etc., etc. So it's a data lake. It's called Cortex Data Lake, and all of the logging is done there. And as as the name says, lake, it is suitable for the cloud infrastructure because it's huge, and it doesn't have a limitation on data retention and data capacity or data storage, etc. It's suitable for big data approach and cloud technology. So that's the huge infrastructure that and scalable infrastructure that Prisma Access has, and the connectivity is through IPsec tunnel, or which is the traditional site-to-site tunnel or remote access tunnel between any remote user and branch user. Apart from that, as Prisma Access has Palo Alto Networks next generation firewall, so Palo Alto also has their own proprietary VPN, which is Global Protect VPN. So using who are who are Palo Alto customers, they can connect from they can use the Global Protect agent or client to connect to the Prisma Access using the Global Protect VPN. Or if someone does not have a Palo Alto firewall, they can use the traditional IPsec VPN tunnel. And if someone has Palo Alto next generation firewall, he can connect again through Global Protect site-to-site VPN tunnel. So you can see service connections, consider them as Palo Alto firewalls, and so they can connect through Global Protect site-to-site VPN tunnel. The remote networks might not have Palo Alto firewall, so they can connect through IPsec tunnel, which provides you with which is compatible with different vendors, right? And then Global Protect agent, which is again which is Palo Alto Networks Remote Access VPN, SSL VPN, but so because of the cloud, approach or cloud, infrastructure, SASE is cloud native, and the features of, if you're aware, if you're aware of the basic features of cloud, you will understand the benefits of SASE. It is globally distributed. It is not just completely hardware. It is based, the next generation firewalls, the Panorama, the all the the resources and the technologies used to set up SASE are based on containers and microservices, so they are fast and they're lightweight. Similarly, they are software based, hardware neutral, so you don't have to worry about setting up your own hardware and having a rack space and manage them, etc., etc. So you don't have to worry about the management at all. And it is, as it is software based, it is also easier to integrate with other technologies. So integration becomes easy when it comes to SASE. Multi-tenant in design. So when multiple customers opt for Prisma Access cloud, they will get their own Prisma Access instance. and we'll go in detail about that in next slides. What exactly multi-tenancy provides to each customer. And then it is if you know Palo Alto, how it processes traffic. It follows a architecture called single pass parallel processing architecture. So here every packet is, whenever it is passed from from the interface, from the input interface and or ingress interface, every packet is checked by three modules: user ID, content ID, app ID. So these are these modules do nothing but they check the user, who is the user, and where is he going, what resources is accessing. So app ID checks the resources, the traffic in depth, what application is it, what kind of payload it has, etc., etc. And then content ID will check the the data, the payload, and the traffic against antivirus module or antivirus signatures, and anti-spyware, IPS, and even sandboxing. So but each and every packet is worked on by all these modules at once. So that gives the throughput and speed up and performance. So and what Palo Alto just mentions in the data sheet, it's not like it mentions it something and provides something. That's how it gets the optimum and best speed and throughput, because the single pass parallel processing architecture. As it's a cloud, so you can it can in case of the load, or increasing the workload by remote users, or by corporate offices, or by headquarters, anyone, it will scale up and scale down accordingly. So when it sees that there's network traffic increase, Prisma Access automatically scales up and adds more firewalls programmatically to handle the load. And then when the traffic again goes down, it will programmatically scale down and save the resources. So again, it also has encryption capability. So all the traffic that you connect, or the connection between the resources and the users and the locations is encrypted, and that too at scale. So you can just imagine that performance is not hit, even though resource intensive technologies are used here. So that's what is a single pass parallel processing architecture, which I already talked about. This is a good way to explain it. So daisy chain means conventional traffic inspection, daisy chain protections, and creating inefficiencies means daisy chain means it's a chain. So all the packet is going through, it has to go through multiple engines. Okay, so for example, content inspection, then user inspection, and then traffic inspection. And in traditional UTMs, or even in NGFW, which follow serial processing architectures. But in Palo Alto, it passes parallelly through app ID, content ID, and user ID, and then provides you with the speed and throughput and performance. Multi-tenancy, yeah. So multi-tenancy here provides you with whenever a customer goes for Prisma Access, he will get his own instance, or their own instance, and then it will be multi-tenant at the data plane as well as at the management plane. So if you again know Palo Alto Networks next generation firewall, there is management plane which is on a different hardware, and it has a different resource set, and then there's data plane which is on a different hardware. I mean, it's in the same the firewall is same, but it has different motherboard and chip, and RAM and hard disk for data plane, and similarly as a different set of resources for management plane. So here, when you go for Prisma Access and multiple customers or users, they opt for Prisma Access, the management plane will be dedicated. Will be different for each customer, but it will be on the back end. The management plane has shared resources. Okay, so this is because management operations are not CPU intensive, and they are not going to be hit by any kind of attacks like which will cause CPU to go high or CPU usage to go high, like DDoS or any kind of network congestion attack, any kind of attack that that might cause the CPU to go high. So management plane has optimum. It provides basically optimum resources for each customer to manage their Prisma Access setup, and on the data plane it is dedicated. So each customer gets dedicated resources to handle the traffic, for each customer. So that's the main difference when it comes to multi-tenant. Because we believe that each customer should not face challenge if they have shared resource. If the one customer's traffic load increases, it will be affected. It will affect the other customer. So that's why we have dedicated resources in terms of networking, in processing, security processing, network processing, etc. Even the bandwidth, it is dedicated for each and every customer, and data plane. But management plane has shared resources. Um, so you can see that Prisma Access is present across 100 plus locations and 76 countries. So it majorly covers every region across the globe, and they are connected through Google backbone network. So which if you're aware, it is the top, and it is it is the fastest backbone network in the world. And because of the global presence, you will not feel, the issue of latency and throughput or slow throughput with Prisma Access. So you might be a customer from Europe region. So for example, Belgium. So when you're trying to access the resources in Belgium region or Europe region, you will be you don't have to worry about the connection. So when you try to access the internet or the resources in Europe region, you will automatically be connected to the edge location of Prisma Access in Europe region. Whereas, but if you are a customer from other region or from mainly US, and you're traveling to Europe region and you try to connect to the resources in Europe, it will give you an option whether you want to connect to the resources in Europe region or in US region. So this is only for the customers from US, by the way. But the main thing here is the global presence, the high-speed backbone network, the best-in-class performance and SLA, and the flexibility to move around without worrying about where you are. So moving on to use cases. So I'll just give a pause here and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so I hope I'm audible and no one has any questions, so it's good. Moving on to the use cases. Mobile users. Yeah? So the key differentiators here are, it is designed for, Prisma Access is designed for all applications in the cloud, in the internet, or the data center. It provides you a good experience. Prisma Access works automatically with connections to the cloud to all over 100 locations. And inline security, that's always on. So protection is ready for your users needed. So it's like Prisma Access is, it's like always on. Like even if you are not connected now, you're not a customer, you're not connected to Prisma Access, their setup is already up and they have services ready. So firewall as a service, it is ready. So you just need to go and opt for it. So it is and it is compatible with all kind of, or it is suitable, I would say, not compatible, suitable for accessing all the internet based and cloud based technologies and resources, be it public cloud, private cloud, SaaS infrastructure, internet resources through data center or mobile connectivity. So so the good thing here is the steps, I would say, for mobile users is the users, they can connect and they can roam around easily, even when they connect to Prisma Access Cloud. So they don't have to worry about which region they are into. So the Palo Alto or Prisma Access automatically changes the access location as the users change the location. So auto scaling and descaling, it is automatic again. It is programmatically handled, and it provides with the capacity handling as per the load of traffic. And as the traffic or the load reduces, it will scale down. So that's a good thing for mobile users because apart with this situation, people are moving from their work country to their home country and trying to access work. Yeah? So that's a good thing in this situation. So here you can see scale out and scale. I would say scale up and scale down. Uh, you know, Statistics. So each color represents a single Prisma Access data plane node instance. So you can see if additional resources needed to handle the growing workload, additional data planes will be spinned up without the intervention from the admin. So it is showing you the how the number of users are being handled by each data plane instance. So here, similar benefits can be received by the remote users or remote uh, branch offices. So improved user experience, low operational cost, and better security because it's like previously the use case looked similar, but it was more of remote users or mobile users, not just mobile users. Uh, Remote branch office is also remote, and mobile users are also remote. But mobile users are moving across globe, whereas remote networks means branch offices which are still located and at a single place, but it might be thousands of kilometers far away from the data center. So still, because of the the backbone connectivity, you get faster access to internet and better user experience. And the backbone network here is not MPLS, so it reduces the cost as well. And you don't have to worry; it is completely managed by Prisma Access, and better security because, like you saw, it is a converged technology, so it provides you with network as a service and security as a service. And MPLS only provides you with connectivity and not security. So again, the steps in you know in accessing or in opting for Prisma Access is you just need to is provisioning first. So you just need to establish VPN to Prisma Access from the remote site, and on the Prisma Access you configure Panorama to establish the VPN to the remote site, and you buy a bandwidth pool. So the provisioning is based upon bandwidth. So I would say the licensing is based upon bandwidth. So if you can decide how big is your remote workforce, like the number of users, enterprise users who are working remotely, how many branch offices you have, and headquarters, how big is your headquarters, what amount of bandwidth, ISP bandwidth, and even data, not bandwidth, but the amount of data that will be moving across the remote users and branch offices and the headquarters. So a rough estimate of bandwidth you will have to do as a customer, and then when you want to set up your your infrastructure or connect or network, I would say, on Prisma Access secure network. So you will have to purchase a bandwidth pool, 500 Mbps or 100 Mbps, whatever it is, based upon your organization size, and you can decide to divide that bandwidth between your remote users and branch offices and headquarters, and configure security policies as per your requirement. And then orchestration. It was again orchestration. Like I said, it is based upon. It is done by Panorama. So you will be seeing a Panorama interface, and so in practical situation or during the hands-on, you will see Panorama, and you can configure the policies and templates and push it to your firewalls. And you don't have to worry about, again, you don't have to worry about scalability issues. So if the load increases, the resources will be spent up. The more firewalls will be spent up and will be managed by the Panorama instance, your Panorama instance, and when the load goes down, it will scale down. So features, Panorama, like I said, it is a central point of management orchestration for Palo Alto or Prisma Access. Um, Two variants of Panorama, cloud-based or on-prem, are available. So on the left, you can see cloud-based, and on the right, you can see the on-prem. So if you have on-prem hardware and VM, next generation firewall, and panoramas, the same can be used to manage Prisma Access. So it's like if you have if you're an existing Palo Alto customer and you have next generation firewall in your headquarters and even your branch offices, and you have Panorama at your headquarters to manage them, you can use the same Panorama to manage your Prisma Access instance as well. But if you are not a Palo Alto customer and you are opting for Prisma Access service, and you have a fully cloud managed infrastructure, then you can choose on cloud Panorama. You can, first of all, you have to definitely choose Prisma Access service, and then on cloud Panorama to manage the on cloud Panorama or Palo Alto firewalls, but they cannot be used to manage your on premises firewalls. So even if they are on-prem, Palo Alto firewalls, they cannot be used to manage them. So this feature is not yet available. So they are working on it. So on-prem, you can manage your Prisma Access setup, but on cloud, you cannot manage your on-prem next generation firewalls. So moving on, SD-WAN is the new feature brought up in PAN-OS 9.1. So if you are following Palo Alto Networks, PAN-OS 9.1 has added SD-WAN capability uh, for the on-prem firewalls as well. So basically, they will connect to Prisma Access, but they need a subscription. So the next generation firewalls, which are from Palo Alto and on-prem, they can connect to the Prisma Access using the SD-WAN subscription and provide you with and act as a interconnected high-speed SD-WAN infrastructure. So yeah, it's the only thing that I would like to tell you is that it's a new feature and is available on the hardware firewalls starting from PAN-OS 9.1. And Prisma Access can act as a SD-WAN hub, and the other on-prem remote locations, Palo Alto firewalls will act as spokes. So it would be like hub and spoke connectivity. So instead of setting up your own, so as if you're a Palo Alto existing Palo Alto customer, you can instead of setting up your own SD-WAN, Prisma Access can be used, or opting for another SD-WAN vendor, you can opt for Prisma Access, and they can be used to connect the branch offices and headquarters across the globe to the SD-WAN, Palo Alto SD-WAN. So VPN, again, VPN as a service. So Prisma Access can provide you with IPsec VPN GP Global Protect VPN features to connect remote users and branch offices together to headquarters. So there is a feature called Clean Pipe here, as you can see. So network as a service, it will have IPsec VPN, SSL VPN, SD-WAN, because it's network as a service. Okay? Clean Pipe and clientless VPN. So Clean Pipe is a feature typically for the ISPs to connect to the Prisma Access. So it's not typically for users. They are for the ISPs. It is for the ISPs. So ISPs can connect to Palo Alto using a native connection directly to Google Cloud for better performance than IPsec VPN. Clientless VPN supports remote users, or I would say clientless VPN support for remote users is included free with Prisma Access. So zero trust network access, or it's just in simple words, it is threat prevention feature which is on the next generation firewall. It provides you with complete session protection when users or devices connect to Prisma Access, irrespective of whether you are on or off the corporate network. Quality of service, again, QoS can be applied on critical applications and users. So if you are a next generation firewall user, you will know how QoS works. So you provide with it will provide prioritization to the application and dedicated bandwidth to the applications. And when there's network congestion, these applications which have been configured for better quality of service take priority and get dedicated bandwidth to for improved performance. Again, we have it also has something called as DNS security. So this is again a new subscription. So this is to protect users against DNS based attacks. So for example, phishing emails or websites that are malicious and posted recently. So Palo Alto can detect such resolutions to malicious domains and websites, and block these kind of DNS requests. So it can block known bad domains, and it can also predict with machine learning if there is any DOM or DNS request that could be to a malicious domain. Yeah. So it's like if there are some websites which have been posted recently and they look legitimate. So such kind of websites can be also predicted using machine learning. And it identifies DNS tunneling. So, for example, if there is any data which is being executed in a DNS request and response traffic, it can also be identified. So, unlike hardware or VM firewalls, DNS security is included in the Prisma Access subscription bundle itself. So when you go for Prisma Access, you get a bundle, or for example, you choose a 100 MB bundle, and for the network and security. And for security, you have to purchase a bundle. So that bundle, it comes with a lot many features than on-prem hardware subscription. So when you go for Palo Alto hardware firewall, and you get the subscriptions options, that you get are, are are different, and the ones that you get for Prisma Access are different. So the bundle that the minimum bundle for Prisma Access, it includes all of the features like like the DNS security, global protect VPN, along with host information profile, HIP feature, and then so global protect is free, but the HIP feature is not free, which you get again when you go for subscription. You get it uh, not for free, but also is included in the same price. And then you get the firewall policies, you get threat prevention features, the ZTNA, and you get URL filtering. You get so DNS security is not a part of. It's a unique subscription, different subscription for next generation firewalls. It comes in bundle with Prisma Access, and the SD-WAN you have to purchase separate. That's the only thing here. So you get all the security features that you get on-prem, and even two more features like DNS security and global protect HIP feature, and the option to go for SD-WAN as well. So with the DNS security, you can block bad domains, block domain generation algorithms with machine learning, and block DNS tunneling and block DNS exfiltration attempt. For firewall as a service, you can configure policies in Prisma Access gateway, so which is nothing but a Palo Alto firewall using the single virtual cloud managed panorama. So hence, separate firewalls are not needed on branch offices. So if you opt for firewall as a service, all of the traffics, all of the traffic will be routed through Prisma Access, and it will be inspected. Again, threat prevention. Yeah, so same as hardware firewall subscriptions. Threat prevention, like I said, when you purchase threat prevention subscription, you get app ID, user ID, SSL decryption, antivirus, anti-spyware, um, vulnerability assessment, and these features. And then you have to go for sandboxing and threat intel. So separate subscriptions are wildfire sandboxing, auto-focus threat intelligence, and then DNS security, SD-WAN. So if you're going for on-prem, but if you go for threat prevention on Prisma Access, you get a lot of more things. So even you get threat intel as well. and even DNS security, and as a bundle. So it works fine for advanced threats. Blocks known malware, vulnerability exploits, and command and control activity. It's a single pass parallel processing architecture, so it is fast. And it Prisma Access enforces policies on application traffic, user. It identifies the user and also decrypts all the traffic which is encrypted. So Prisma Access has predefined DLP profiles for ease of detecting various data patterns. So this is the I believe this is the panorama on the Prisma Access. So I mean it already has predefined the DLP profiles for detecting the various data patterns. So machine learning plus patterns plus document properties are used to reduce the false positives. So it uses machine learning. Plus the known patterns and the document properties to reduce the false positives. So cloud, access security broker. It is mainly for cloud services. So using CASB, we can allow or block SaaS applications, restrict certain functions of SaaS applications, and Palo Alto works in inline mode, CASB. So for this, technology, you have to have an understanding of what CASB is. It is mainly for SaaS applications. It will inspect the SaaS application traffic, and it has even some functions that you can use to control what how the application should behave. So, for example, Prisma Access works in inline mode, yeah, for CSB, and uploading a file on Office 365, will redirect. You can configure this. Uploading a file or Office 365 reduces or redirects the access to personal cloud drive like Dropbox, or to corporate or enterprise Dropbox solution. So you can decide where the file will be stored. So additional information, Prisma SaaS, can even, I mean, Prisma SASE is, Prisma Access. Prisma also has, parallel to Prisma. I mean, Prisma is a product, and Prisma Access is SASE technology. Prisma SaaS, software as a service, is again, security technology for SaaS applications. So even that can scan contents of the SaaS applications for threats like malicious files and even send files to wildfire sandbox. So if you go to Palo Alto website and you see what kind of products it has, you will see that securing the network is one segment, securing the future is another segment, and securing the cloud is third segment. So securing the cloud has a product portfolio for Palo Alto Prisma. So in Prisma there is SASE, Secure Access Service Edge, which is we are talking about today. Then there is SaaS, which is for SaaS security, software as a service, only dedicated to software as a service security. And then there is cloud, Prisma Cloud, which is for cloud security. So it's like so there are three different segments. So what I said now is Prisma SASE also has the capability to inspect SaaS applications and do restrict certain functions of the SaaS applications. Like you cannot upload, if you want, you can block upload to Office 65, upload of a file to Office 365. You can redirect the access to personal cloud drive like Dropbox to corporate or enterprise Dropbox solution. So these kind of functions you can do with CASB. And even Prisma SaaS, which is a different product, it has a capability to inspect. This is just more info. It can scan contents of the SaaS application for threats like malicious files and can send even these files to wildfire sandbox. So that was it. So to summarize, Prisma Access is SASE technology, and from Palo Alto Networks, which provides you with in this situation, with we're in COVID-19 and people are working from home and moving and have actually have been accessing their corporate resources from different countries and at large distances. They can use Prisma Access to connect securely from anywhere to anywhere and at any time. So that was it. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know.